You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang. Hey, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 172 of Shades of Blue.
This is culturally inappropriate.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here, capitalize A. I am Crunkchocolate. I'm here with the show bros, Tarik, Sharpie, Charlie. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
Feel good, man. It's things could be worse. We could be united. So, I'm gonna take some joy in the fact that we aren't them.
Man,
I can't believe they lost.
How bad must things get that all we can do is just glad we're not united?
I guess we'll talk about it. We'll find out, huh?
Yeah.
Just a little perspective, a little silver lining,
I guess so.
Oh man, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe if this is your first time here. Hit that thumbs up, like the video, leave a comment on what you thought on the episode. Let us know. Love replying to those. Always a good time. If you're listening on a podcast, audio only experience, please rate us 5 stars, leave a review, say something nice, and shout out to all our patronies, all you subscribers showing some love with us financially. $6 a month gets you all sorts of fantastic content, episodes, match previews, interviews about City, not about City. Get to find out about City's upcoming opponents from people who follow their clubs just as much as we follow City. So always a great, wonderful conversation, amazing people. You can widen your own footballing perspective. Great people. Again, like I said, to follow on social media. $6 a month for all of that. In today's episode, so we have the Leeds game. That was what it was. And then we have this Nottingham Forest. We dropped points. I'm very interested to see how my show bros feel about this match. Especially Tarik. I joined him for a little bit on Talking Back Tuesdays. So I heard how he's feeling about a couple of City players. So I'm very interested to see, now that we got some of the experiences from, players he was wondering about, how does he feel about it now? I think, actually, let's just get into it. Leeds, the 1-0 win. Guardiola, he's always gonna bring me some joy because we got Guardiola. I was hoping we were gonna win against Nottingham Forest. I would have had a much more jubilance in saying that, but this draw's kind of got me a little down.
I don't remember. I'm not here to give advices to Mika.
Pep was asked, "Hey, on your first time trying to win a title, do you remember those experiences? What did you do to calm yourself and calm your team, your players from under you?" And he was just like, "Bro, I'm not helping him. Why would you even ask me this? Why are you being ops right now? We supposed to be talking about City." Perfect answer. Pep said the players had trained very well after the 3 days off. They've given the players the time off. The last 2 weeks will only work if they win games. He does believe that there's plenty of things to work on, but the most important quality to work on is mentality. Erling Haaland's battles with center backs in the Premier League this season. I mean, it's really always been a topic of conversation, but with the league fully embracing physicality and goonery, it appears, Pep was asked how he feels about Erling Haaland having to handle center backs.
Yeah, it's really important, but we have to try to use it as less as possible, even with man marking. So we have to make an alternative, not in man marking, long balls against Erling and Barnes. Otherwise, every 3 days doing that for a striker like Erling is unsustainable. So we have to make an alternative to try still have a dream to play and play and play more. That we are playing sometimes, even man marking, that is difficult.
And even when he said that, because I listened to him 3-4 times a week for the last few years, that was when I was like, uh-oh, something weird is about to happen. We'll get to the match. But Pep continues on giving examples of ways to find success other than those long balls to Erling Haaland.
To adapt an alternative when they happen, the alternative you have to play quicker up front. If you win that ball, is a chance. We have incredible 4 or 5 or 6 chances against Newcastle that we miss the last pass when we can run. You know, when the team is brave to go 1 against 1, if you can make some combination to win that ball, you can run. Saying that is not easy because it's a safer pass at 2 meters than 30 meters. The 30 meters is more difficult pass. The pass is safer with the 2-3 meters. But always we try to find a way to not just use Erling or striker in that position. You have to be more variation and predictable for our game to drop them, and after that make another type of game, because in that moment when they drop them, after it's like this, no, defend so high man to man and after so deep in the box. They are not middle blocks, or they are not much process to do it, and many teams, but we are working on it.
The defense, like you said, the moment City get the ball, they press super high, and the moment we kind of beat that first press, they immediately just start dropping back. What they need to do is, while the teams are dropping back, be brave. Take a chance. The thing is, if you make the pass and it doesn't go well, that's where the press is supposed to be for. You close down on the ball, win it closer up the pitch, then you might be able to get something cooking. The tentativeness comes to bite us in the ass, and that, I think, is kind of it's exactly what happened in the Nottingham Forest game, but we're here to talk about Leeds. I actually really like Jack Gone asked Pep, what can the players do to improve those short passes, those long passes, in order to take advantage of when the ball is one higher up the pitch? Because, again, when Pep was like, it's easier to make those 3-meter passes than that 30-meter one, but I want you to make that 30-meter pass. And even that phrase in itself reminded me of Phil Foden, if you can understand my focus on this game against Nottingham. But again, we're here about Leeds.
Too hectic, have to be more. Always you have time. In football, always you have time. So good pass, good control. It's not easy because the space is minor and the decisions you take decisions in the middle, when the low blocks you have time to think. If the strikers don't have time, the defenders are aggressive, and we know that. But question improve, another aspect improve. We have a lot of this season actions for 1 against 1 or 2 against 2, or even 3 against 2 in our favor, or 4 against 2 in our favor. We didn't finish it well. So just question. We show it, relax, and make a good pass, make a good shoot, and that's all. Always had the feeling have one portion of time, 1 second, that you believe we'll have time. Always you have a frame of time that you can take a better decision.
Quit being so scared. You have more time on the ball than you think you do. Phil Foden. Again, we're talking about this Leeds match. Donnarumma, Nunes, Diaz, Ahi, Aït-Nouri, Rodri, Silva, Shirky, O'Reilly, Semenyo, and Marmouch. There was no Haaland in the lineup. Technically, didn't say anything about Haaland before the match, but you heard him talk about how him battling with people like Dan Burn is not sustainable, i.e. he was out this match. First thing I guess I want to start off with before, whatever else, there was only the 1 goal in the match. There was a pause in play for Shirky and Aït-Nouri who would break their Ramadan fast. The topic of conversation was how the fans booed. I remember United booing the first match that had the stoppage. Leeds supporters are notoriously cantankerous, and like they even gave Pep a wanker chant. It's one of those situations, if you booed because you just didn't know why the game paused, sure, I'll give some of the people that. But then if the camera showed the screen where it said, hey, yo, this is a pause for Ramadan, if you're still booing, I even saw some people talking about how the Ramadan was just an excuse because you see all these players over talking to Pep. Then someone quoted that and they were like, so were the Leeds players. They were talking to Farka too. There was no advantage from this. And if you want to try to say it's because of religion, it's not being forced on anybody. No one is telling you to participate in the fast. Nobody is praying at you. The Quran wasn't played out on the speakers. Like, think of it as a water break when it's hot outside. Like, it's 1 minute break. It'll be added extra time. Like, here, think of it as 5 Brentford long throws, 4 goal kicks from Everton or Newcastle, any set piece opportunity from Arsenal. How about that? You know, like, that's all it is. Like, if since you can't get your tiny, bigoted little minds upset about a Ramadan fast. Anyway, what else from this match? Like, obviously, the Semenyo goal. Shout out to Ait Nori. He's a fullback, but really runs at people like a winger. He is so great. Way he's able to beat his man and then get that ball in to Semenyo. A nice sliding tap in. That was basically all of the joy in the match. I guess let's start there with the goal. How are we feeling about the goal? It was scored right before the end of the first half. How are we feeling? Etc.
So you mentioned the ball for Ait Nori bombing down the wing. He gets the cross in that Semenyo scores from, but it's the ball before that came from Cherky that freed up Ait Nori and kind of set him into the box. It was an amazing pass, touch perfect as far as weight on the ball. It was KDB-esque. I would be stretching my vocabulary and finding superlatives to try to describe how beautiful this pass was. It was great.
And give pleasure.
Yes, given a lot of pleasure. Yeah. So I think that was the key to that play that unlocked it. Ait Nori gets the assist because he makes the cross, but without that Cherky pass, it's not there. And so I want to give him, his credit where credit is due, because I think even when he's not getting the assist, he's still being instrumental on the play and influential on the play. So
shout out to Tom Bomb. He loves a key pass. He loves a key pass.
Oh yeah, the key pass is everything. And I'll also add to that, that's a 10, right? I talk about shirt numbers mattering. Like, when you put a 10 on your back in the history of football, you're supposed to make things happen like that. You may not make the assist, you may not score the goal, but you're making the actions happen that are unlocking the defense that's sucked in. They just trying to make it to halftime, and you make that play. But aside from that, each part of that play, the goal, was made by somebody who was acquired by City in the past year. You got last summer's acquisitions, right? Sharpie, Ryan, and then you have the January wonder signing of Semenyo. And so this is Hugo Viana City. This is, if you think about this team as in year one, I think our perception would change a lot, right? This is the first year this group has done it. Yes, you have some mainstays from the treble side, the 5 or 6 guys that were there, but the majority of this team has not won anything. This unit has never won anything together, right? So as they're learning to do this on a cold night at Leeds, right, at Ellen Road, that's the first time they've done it as a group. Yes, Semenyo's been there at Bournemouth, but he's never been there in a title race. Yeah, I know he's been there at Wolves, but he's been in relegation or comfortably mid-table, right? Like, this is real life stuff that matters. And so for everybody to do the basics so perfectly, because that's all it was, basic through ball, basic cross, basic slide in, slide in by a striker. Nothing was fancy, but it would just all happen together. That's what it takes in these tough matchups when the defenders are defending for their life. So when we watched it on the watch along, it was a huge moment of joy because it's like, wow, we finally got it. We have been pushing that last 15 minutes after, of course, like Leeds owned us the first 27 minutes of the match. It was all Leeds all the time. And then we took control. And so we got the goal we earned. So I was really, really proud of the new guys. Because that's what they still are, even though we're not new. They are to City.
Yeah, and shout out to Leeds for being able to, like Sharpie said, bring that intensity. They really ran things for a majority of that first half and had a couple of chances. It was just, City doing City. So obviously, that was the only goal of the match. In the second half, City, so the first half, City went from having 76% possession to the second half, dropping to 57. But our XG was significantly better, wasn't able to score, had 10 shots, but only one was on target. And then they had one big chance that was missed. It was basically it was a shot from Gahey that, it was just stopped. It's unfortunate. Darlow played his ass off. Their Leeds' goalkeeper. Like, he technically is a backup. I mentioned, the guest, Bryn. Like, shout out to him. He came on and he was like, every single year for the last couple of seasons, the club has brought in a new goalkeeper aiming to upgrade Darlow. But by the end of the season, he ends up coming in because the new guy just isn't able to figure it out, or he does too much, and it just adds some uncomfortability with their defense. And when you just know what you have with your goalkeeper, you can build from there. And so we saw it with him. He made some really good saves. He made things very difficult for City. But this is the match where obviously it was a win. So this is where the most positive, maybe, hey, technically it was a draw against Nottingham Forest. But in a situation where really we can't drop points, it's negative. But I really do like the fact that City were able to, yes, they didn't score in the second half, but neither did Leeds. And being able to maintain the intensity. Unfortunately, we lost O'Reilly in that. He did get subbed off in the 70th minute. The other conversation is Marmouch. Marmouch has been with Savio, Doku, them out, Holland even out in this match. We have seen a lot of Marmouch over the last couple of weeks. I haven't been entirely moved from him. He has his moments in the first half where he gets the opportunities to attack on a counter. We know he moves with swiftness, but he is not able to take advantage of his situations that he gets himself in. How are you feeling about Marmouch at this moment? Especially because last season he was so great. Like, he was scoring bangers. He was doing everything that we needed of him. But that was also a continuation of an amazing season that he was having.
You want to tell us your thoughts, or you want me to go first?
I can go first. Real quick. I am fine with Marmouch. I see the talent. I see, his physical traits. You can't buy that, right? Like, well, you can't give it to somebody else. I can't make Doku 6 foot. I can't make, a midfielder that fast, right? Like, he has all the traits. I think with him, as we saw when he was at Frankfurt, it's consistency of playing, right? It's getting in a rhythm. It's, you build that familiarity with your side. And I know this is an excuse, but I don't think he's been played in his best position, right? His best position is truly as a second striker with wingers around him. He's almost better as a 10 than like a front two, in my opinion. Like as a, co-striker, he likes to come in from behind, and that's how he kind of got those goals like Julian Alvarez used to do when he was behind Haaland, right? So, and I also think if you played him with Doku, for example, now you got somebody who's creating on the wing, whereas now he's the one on the inside kind of finishing, running. So again, I don't think it's somebody who can't do it and isn't good enough for City. I just think it's a rough patch for him. How about you, Tarik?
Yeah, I think, and I have to go back. I don't know. So last season, where he thrived was when Haaland was out. And we brought him in, and he got us across the line. We got in those top 4 spots and all that kind of stuff. Right now, I think there was some time where he played alongside Haaland. So I'm not suggesting that he didn't play any games with Haaland, but I think where he does his best, or he did his best last season, was kind of playing in Haaland's spot. To your point, if we were to play, and again, I'm basic, right? Pep is advanced. He's got all these little technical intricacies. I'm basic. Just give me a 4-2-3-1 and put him in that 10 spot. That's what you're saying, right? And then you got the wingers on the outside, kind of everybody kind of in that 3 behind Haaland. It just feels like, okay, that's probably tailor-made for him. But I think we also have, the question is, where are you going to play Cherky? Are you going to continue to play him out on that wing, or are you going to allow him to get into that 10 spot? So, do I think that he's got a talent issue? No. I think he's going to have, and he has had, a opportunity deficit, or he's just not getting the opportunities that he needs to Charlie's point, to get into a good run of form, play consistently. And I said the same thing about Doku, right? You can't be looking over your shoulder and knowing that if I make one mistake, I'm coming out. He played a couple games in a row, but I think it's fair to say we still want more from him, more consistency. There's some, his game has got its issues, but everybody's game does. No player is perfect. Every player has strengths and weaknesses. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that he's just not going to get the opportunities that he's going to want, much like a Julian Alvarez. The difference with Alvarez was he was competing directly with Haaland. And in this case, Marmouch really wouldn't be if he's trying to get to that 10 spot. But competing with Cherky, potentially Phil, potentially Tijani Reiners, there's a lot of people in that spot for City. So that's a lot of competition. Would it shock me if he's not here next season? No, it wouldn't shock me. Am I trying to push him out? No.
Sounds like it to me.
No, not trying to push him out. Because again, we could have used him today. But we'll talk about that. As you kept saying earlier, but we're talking about Leeds. We're not talking about Nottingham Forest. We're talking about Leeds. So yeah, I'm not trying to push him out by any stretch, but I just don't know that he's going to be happy in the same way that Julian Alvarez wasn't happy.
Agreed. And remember, the thing that unlocked Alvarez was the KDB injury. And people were super frustrated at first, like, wow, he's playing as a 10. He's not that great. He's not that great. And then he kicked on because he was shooting the ball with both feet, scoring goals, doing things. I looked at some stats from Marmouch. Let's just look at the numbers, right? Last season, because he's January transfer, he only had 22 appearances for City, 8 goals, and 1 assist. So 9 contributions in 22 matches. This season, 28 appearances. Again, I'm not saying how many starts. It's 28 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists. So 1 more assist than all of last season, less goals, but also, like we said, in a different role, and he had a whole month off for AFCON. And he was injured. So he was injured, got a little bit healthy, left for AFCON. So a lot of those appearances have been sub stuff, right? And most players, they need to start. Like, it's really hard to come off the bench and just perform. But when you get in the flag, he had that great assist the other match, right? So he has the the ability to impact the game. Some of those shots that were going in last year, like the goal of the season, just haven't went in. He's still shooting though. His shots are at a really good percentile. He's shooting, and that's all you can do, like shoot or shoot.
And then
you
he got
hope
the
that
one
like
that was called back for offside, and
that shouldn't have been in the match.
Just fine margins, man.
Yeah, that's why they say that cliche. It's real. So I hope that his price is so high that nobody can afford him. Because I saw like a link with like, I forgot what club. I'm like, yeah, if you can give us profit, because that's what it comes down to. Are we going to make profit on a sale? And I don't think anybody that he's been linked to, i.e. Barcelona or, whatever, is going to do it. So that's the only thing the reason I think he's going to be back at least for one more year as a full season. So it'll be 2.5 years at City. Summer 27, if he wants to go, totally understand it. Can't be mad.
All fair. And it's one of those situations we have been able to see Sharky. Yes, he has the 10. Yes, you would believe his best position is centrally, but he finds success on the right. Marmouch doesn't find it as often unless he is central. So it is one of those situations maybe we need to just let him play centrally and let Sharky be on the right. Like I know it's not great for Sharky, but he's the one. He stands a better chance of finding success on the wings than Marmouch does.
Can I bring up a couple other players that were used early in the season but haven't been recently? I feel like I need a milk carton. Nico Gonzalez, Tijani Reinders. I thought they both performed really well early in the season. Like Nico G, at one point, I'm on this pod saying, I don't miss Roger at this point in the season because Nico G's doing the job. A lot of
people said that.
Reinders was doing great work in midfield, making runs. His goal contributions are up there with like first season Gundo, actually second season Gundo, people forget. As a first year midfielder for Pep, I think he was doing things right. He's super athletic. Not winning duels, but again, that's that crotchety old PL now, which is so annoying to watch. Thank you, Arsenal. But I thought these players were really good. And it's just something to see them like be out of favor for whatever reason. Other people coming back. Obviously, Roger takes Nico's spot, but for them not to even get sub minutes, like I'm like, oh, Nico G, we need something. He can come in, or we'll get to the Nottingham Forest match, but maybe Reinders could have did something. I don't know. I just miss seeing those guys because I think they add something different. I think last time we saw Reinders for real was like the Newcastle match in the Carabao. I think it's the last start he got, which is a long time ago.
Very solid.
I just like how you called them crotchety old men or crotchety old PL.
Because that's what it is. It's so shitty to watch. I'm sorry, excuse my language. It's horrible. It's not fun to watch. Like if it's not Man City, I don't like watching it. Give me La Liga any day. Give me
Serie A is so fun.
Bundesliga.
Enjoying
Serie A, like no, this stuff is you watch. It's a different sport. It's like watching old school Big East basketball. Like Syracuse and Georgetown and St. John's and, UConn, like back in the day, we just trying to get the race to 60. You might win 58 to 61, like, or lose, I guess, 58, 61. But now I want to see games go to 80. God damn it. I want to see offense. I'm tired of all this grappling. Why am I watching WWE with a football?
Bro.
That's for Crunk to watch with his boys, not for me to watch on my
podcast.
The other pod. Your favorite wrestling pod, not this one. God damn it.
No, I'm with you. I am with you. I am over it. And perfect transition to the next match, Nottingham Forest, because obviously the conversation about how boring the Premier League is growing. And I felt like the conversation started with who was it? The Newcastle winger, Gordon, where he was
he was the one that got interviewed before Champions League.
And he was asked basically like, what's the difference between Champions League and Premier League? And he was like, yeah, it's just so physical in the Premier League. It's not that fun, especially compared to the Champions League. And I just feel like more and more people have gotten closer to just being like, hey, the PL sucks, right? And obviously Arne Slot coming out and being like, hey, I hate watching this league. Honestly, it's terrible. Pep was asked, hey, bro, you think the Premier League is boring? And so it's a long answer. I cut it up. What I love is how he technically he sticks up for the Premier League while also insulting the Premier League, and then at the end he admits he agrees with Arne Slot. So just listen to the pepification of this answer.
I remember when I was a young boy, a young kid, every time we thought in Spain, when the people say, in England, when it's a corner, the people celebrate it, like a goal, celebrate the corner, a free kick. I remember perfectly when I was a young boy.
It's always been this
nothing
way.
Changed.
Nothing's changed.
But it's true that I think Arsenal dictate a little bit how they do it, and it's an important role. And before years ago in NBA, the 3-shot point was not involved as much, like
nice correlation.
Where Stephen Curry started to make 3 points and everyone adapt, and now Celtics do it as well.
Shout out to his homie,
so
Celtics.
It's part of the ball, part of the dynamics, and you can say complain, or you have to adapt. I know when the set pieces, the game is a stop. You have to. It's not dynamic and
so
whatever.
Boring.
This part you have to adapt, and especially adapt with the way it's been given and the way it's been whistled and the way it's conducted in the Premier League.
The way that it's being whistled and conducted.
Have to adapt. But on the other side, I understand completely the reason why Aaron say that, and in some aspects, I'm agree.
I understand why Aaron say that, and I can say I agree.
Bro, like the way the PGMOL will have to atone for their sins. Like they have referees allow things, like the inefficiency of VAR to call things. He didn't get pulled, he didn't get fouled. Oh, the keeper never got pushed off his spot. What are you talking about? Like we're watching this stuff happen. Oh, he didn't hold the defender. Like what are you talking about? We see it happening, bro. Like, and that's the most annoying part. It'd be one thing if like nothing was happening and nobody could shoot anymore. You'd be like, damn, people suck. But no, they just are letting fouls go. And if you call the fouls, players will adjust. If you don't call the fouls, I'm going to keep hand shaking. It looks like the mid-90s basketball. Again, I was too young to watch it, but I heard about it. And I don't want to go back there. But I remember those Heat Knicks matchups when I was like in third grade.
Tarik,
Shit was
how
ugly.
were those days?
How were they, Tarik?
Yeah, man.
Tell us about
That was
it.
Bulls versus Pistons.
Back in my day, yeah. But no, that's real. I mean, because like, there's a book, Jordan Rules, and it talks about how basically the Pistons like if he comes to the hole, you knock him down. And the intent there is you make him think twice before he comes to the hole. He's not coming in there like that next time, because he's in the back of his head, he's thinking, who's gonna knock me down? So yeah, that was a real thing, in hand checking and grabbing, and kind of what you see with the Premier League in the box, the grappling that you see, that was much more prevalent. And now the league has gone to the other extreme, where you get too close to SGA, it's a whistle. You get too close to what's the dude from, used to be for the Rockets, now he went over to Clippers.
James Harden.
You can't get to that dude, shoot like 30 free throws a night, man. What are we doing? Come on, man. That is not the league that I grew up on. So yes, in my day, the league was a little bit different, and that's how people now. It's
even like wingers. The moment you get beat by a winger, they immediately just grab the arm and pull them, and unless you like immediately drop, like you don't get a call. But if you keep going and you let them continue to pull you, like nothing gets called. There's no like play on it. It's very frustrating to see the level of physicality that is allowed.
Yeah, because now we're at a place where the statement is not there wasn't contact, so it's not a foul. The statement is, well, there's not enough contact. We don't think it's enough to warrant blowing the whistle, calling a foul, maybe giving a penalty. So we recognize that there is contact. Holland coming through on goal. There is contact, but we're not gonna blow it. Now again, I understand, because they say the same thing in the NFL, right? If you called holding on you could call holding on every play in the inside. So they don't call it on every play. But there are some times when it's egregious and you just gotta call it, man. You can't just be like, well, I don't want to give it, or I don't want to ruin the occasion. No, you're ruining the occasion by refereeing the game differently in different circumstances, in different situations, and sometimes different situations within the same game. What are we doing?
Yeah, and last thing I'll say is this, man. Like, there was a clip on X that went around where it showed the highlights from like the City game that year. We had the all blue basic jersey going against Liverpool. I think it was like 20. It might have been our first season on the show. And they were just saying how like in all of Klopp and Pep's matches, I think there were only like 4 corners scored. Like, it was real like ethical hoops. Like, they were just out there balling. Like, when Salah came on a break, we weren't grabbing him and pulling him down. Like, if he cooked you, he cooked you, bro. Like, like if Mane got there and he just got there. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we're in the thing trying to hold Van Dijk. The man jumped higher and he scored. Like, it happened. And same thing on the City side. Like, when Holland started running at him, like, they were cooked. You just played the game. The game dictated who won. It wasn't just like, oh, we're going to do some dark arts in the mid 90 minutes. You save that for stoppage time, right? You kick it out of bounds. You do all that stuff at the end of the game. Not in the middle. We aren't time wasting until it's the end of the game. So yeah, man, I put all this on Mikel Arteta. It's his fault. Moving on.
I mean, he did too. He was like, "Hey, Arsenal have inspired things," and
Mikel Moyes.
And it's one of those things when you see a team doing these things and they're at the top of the table, you are then going to try to do those things. Like, it just is what it is. And Arsenal fans can get upset because people keep blaming them for everything. But it is what it is what it is.
You're the problem. It's you.
Yeah, it really
and that's
is.
the thing. If you enjoy this, like, that would make the comeback so much sweeter that they would have like committed to this for a whole season and still don't win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and right now, if you gave me $1,000, I don't know if I could like smartly bet it on City. However, the return would be incredible. Like, it would just be so nice to like walk them down in this year with the bull crap they're doing, man. But we'll see. A lot of games left.
It was funny that Pepe said that his true opinions on all the set pieces and the pulling and the goalkeeper blocking that goes on, all that stuff, only his players and his coaching staff will know. He's going to keep that to himself, even though he like kind of admitted what it is. He also said, "I will never do throw-ins." He was like, because they asked him, "Hey, you've obviously have had to adjust to all of these set pieces and everything." And he's like, "Yeah, this is the most I've ever paid attention to it. Like, I have to. I have no choice. I have to adapt. I have to evolve." He's like, "Yeah, so yeah, we focus more on the corners. Yeah, we focus more on the free kicks. I don't care about throw-ins." Like, that's what he said. I don't care about throw-ins, but all the other stuff.
Thank God, because that's the time I will walk away. I swear to God, if I see Semenyo take a throw-in, y'all,
He does
I'm done.
not care.
I'm done for the season.
He doesn't care.
Just where's Sharpie? He's done. He gave up. He's watching college basketball and NBA. I can't. I will not support City doing throw-ins. That is where I draw my line. Everybody has to have a line. That's mine. That's my line in the sand. Goddammit.
Respect. And he did say that he someone asked him, "Hey, all the man marking in the game against Leeds, there were moments where you dropped Rodri and Bernardo back to try to play from the back to adjust from the man marking, and it didn't necessarily go the best. You did stop doing it after a while, but this is you trying to play your football despite the game changing. It has to inspire you to continue." And he was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, this is a puzzle I want to change. I don't want to let down my new players and the coaches. Like, if everything stayed the same from when I first got here, I would be retired by now. But I'm still here because I am interested in what's going on in the game." So it was a very interesting question that he answered it that way. And then when he was asked about having to play Nottingham Forest, who are fighting relegation, he was like, "Look, the players that they have on the squad, they're good. If you look at the teams that are in relegation right now, they have beat top teams. So really, it's just the fact that the Premier League is more difficult than it ever has been."
Yeah, it's the best league in the world for that reason. It's the deepest league in the world. It's kind of like the NWSL versus the WSL. Like, you have so many matches in the WSL, we know we're going to get 3 points. We're talking about how many goals. If you were to have an NWSL pod, you're not anticipating wins. You're thinking you're going to win, but you know that like you got to go up against some real ballers. And yeah, I mean, we see it every week that somebody from the bottom 5 of the table is taking points off somebody from the top 6, and you can't get away from it.
Starting 11 was Donnarumma, Nunes, Diaz, Gahey, Nori, Rodri, Cherki, Silva, Foden, Semenyo, and Haaland. Pep's post-match said that the team looked good. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't take any notes, obviously, because this match was already happened. I wasn't able to do the replay. It was nice having Haaland back. No Nico O'Reilly. He's still injured from the match. We have Foden. He returned to the lineup. I was intrigued by this aspect. I know a lot of people, the conversation about Foden, how little minutes he's gotten over the last couple of weeks, it just gets louder and louder. Obviously, someone would have to fill in for that Nico O'Reilly position. Tarik, when you saw Phil Foden was in that lineup, how were you feeling?
So he needs to play. He needs like everybody. You need a chance to prove yourself. He's not played in a little bit, so this was an opportunity for him to come in and show something. But if you consider him effectively a straight swap in the midfield for Nico O'Reilly, then you lose quite a bit. He might be just as technical, maybe more, I don't know. But he's not physically what Nico O'Reilly is. And so he's never going to give you that in the midfield. So, you know, but you hope that he gives you other abilities and other characteristics that you can take advantage of. So I won't say I was happy, because I knew we had to make a change, right? There had to be something. Nico O'Reilly's not walking through that door, so somebody's got to play. I guess the question is it going to be Marmouch and then Cherki or what are you going to do there? I don't know.
Well, right back to you, I guess.
Was I happy about it? No.
Was there someone else you would have rather have seen?
Well, I've always said that I don't understand why, and Sharpie pointed this out earlier. I don't understand why Nico G, got my Nicos mixed up. Why Nico G has suddenly become, what is it? Persona non grata, something like that. You know, like we don't even know who this guy is anymore. Talking about go find him on the milk carton or whatever, right? He's lost.
Kiki Palmer.
I don't know what he did to warrant basically going from starting every match and doing well to now he can't get a game. So is he the same as Nico O'Reilly? No. But he's going to be more physical than Phil. He's going to be, he's going to break up play and be able to kind of run that midfield better than Phil is. Phil's going to be a potentially better attacker, but it just depends what you're looking for. So, I would have liked to see, I still want to see Nico G and Rodri in the same midfield. I don't know if I'll ever get that, to be honest with you, but I want to see that. But all in all, I wasn't disappointed to see Phil. So I wanted to see, okay, this is your chance to prove yourself, because he hasn't been playing, and he's the crown jewel of the academy, right? And I say that, and quite honestly, in the back of my mind, there's a parenthetical for now that I didn't say out loud, but it was in my head.
You did now.
I was just like, let's just go ahead and put it out there. So yeah, he's the crown jewel of the academy, and you want to see him succeed, but it's been a little while since he's experienced success, and we need to see something different.
Sharpie, Foden.
I had to Google it to double check. Phil Foden is 5'7".
Yeah, he's a little bit.
And this is the season he's most looked 5'7" probably since his first 2 years in Premier League. Like, he looks a little out there. And I don't know if that's just the increased physicality as we talked about, or like other teams are just playing bigger players and like, hey, the goal is just to be bigger than them. But I think that's the reason Ryan Shirky has been able to acclimate so much better. Ryan Shirky is a legit 5'10". And that, like, he has size and presence on the pitch just because of the way he's built, right? It's a 5'10", but it's stocky.
He's a sturdy dude.
He's a sturdy dude. He's not like super skinny or anything, right? So like he carries his weight, and you can see that you want to just move him off the ball. You want, like, if he wants to go, he's going. And I think like this is the year where I feel almost like Pep, like me as a fan, is having to adjust to this new Premier League. So I think he still has all the ability, still probably the most skilled English player, right? But when you talk about how to navigate in the Premier League, it's different. And I think that's why he excels better in Champions League. And I think as a team, that's a whole nother conversation. I think we're going to be better in Champions League than we are in the Premier League. Like, we're set up to make a run there just because of the style of play. But yeah, so I was okay seeing him start, and he does need minutes because he has the talent. But I think, as we all can see, Ryan Shirky's better than him, and he's better at him in Phil's position, in Phil's best position. So when you put both of them on the pitch together, you're somebody else is not getting the minutes that probably should.
Yeah, and perfect example is Phil Foden's first touch in the match. He literally just gets pushed off the ball. And I was like, hey, we're good. Phil's going to get the ball immediately. Let's see what we get from him. And he just gets pushed and almost stumbles over, loses the ball. It's like, all right, good. And then even throughout the match, like I played Pep before the Leeds match where he was like, hey, I know it's easier to make that 3-meter pass than it is to make that 30-meter pass, but I need people to take chances. And Foden took no chances in this match. Absolutely none. Almost every time he received the ball, his back was to the goal, and he would immediately pass it backwards. There was a couple times where he took the ball in, and he did the like turn and then shot, and it was super wayward. And again, this is why I wish I could rewatch it, but there were multiple times in the match where you could tell that like Shirky would pass him the ball, and Shirky was expecting the ball back, but Foden either passed it back because he wanted the ball back, and he knew if he gave it to Shirky, he might not get the ball back. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to insert himself in the game, and that's great. But when he hasn't been playing with the starting 11, he doesn't have that chemistry with them. I don't know. You could tell.
So
sorry, go for it.
Well, no, sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
No, you're good. No, go for it. You're feeling it.
So again, I don't pretend to know his reasoning or his rationale or anything like that, right? But what I think we're seeing, and I said this earlier today, is we have a core of our team that has played the old possession-based, maintain possession at all costs. The most valuable thing we have is the ball. Do not lose it at any rate, right? Which is what people used to say about Jack Grealish. Pep coached everything out of him, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. There is a piece of that, you know, the mindset of don't lose the ball. Then you have these new players like a Semenyo, to a certain extent, like a Marmouch, like these types of players, like a Cherky, who are, you know, no one's just giving the ball away willy-nilly, but their mindset is get the ball, be dangerous, go create something, go make something happen, which is what KDB always did for us, which is why everybody else, you know, Rodri would have 98% pass completion percentage, and then KDB would have 78, because he was making passes that he was trying something, and they don't always come off. So yeah, you know who's going to have one of the lower percentages? Cherky, because he's trying something. You know who's going to not barely miss a pass? Phil, because his mindset is protect the ball at all costs, protect the ball at all costs. So you have this dichotomy between these two parts of our team. One that's saying, let's go get this goal. I'm going to pass to you, give it back to me. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be dangerous, but you know what? Maybe we'll get something out of it. And then you have another side of us that's saying, I could try that, but it's maybe only a 50-50 ball. the chance it's going to come off. So it's better for me to just keep it and pass it back, and we just maintain possession. And we don't know how to play because one half is doing one thing, the other half is doing another. We are not on the same proverbial piece of sheet music. We're not. And so, yeah, you have those situations where, to your point, you call out, he makes this pass, goes off on that run, expecting the ball back, and it doesn't come because it's a little too dangerous. We don't want to try that. I don't know what we're going to do.
So here's my question for y'all. Would you say Phil right now sounds like the children, is a 6-7 player? Like 6-7 out of 10? Like, I feel like that's, like, he's not bad, but he's definitely not great. He's just very average right now. Is that too harsh?
No, and honestly, I would say he's like a 5-6 player because like Tarik said, the change in the squad where, again, Pep said it, I want people taking chances, and the fact that he doesn't take chances, that hurts our team. And even in if we get to it, whatever, the goals that we gave up, specifically the second one, Phil was right there, and he was just like, I did the watch along by myself, like, but the chat was great and everything, and I was just pointing out, like, it was wild how over the years Pep was always saying how Pep was always saying how Foden is always in sixth gear and he needs to learn when to pause up, when to calm, but now it doesn't even seem like he gets out of third gear. Like, the guy is just like constantly jogging there. And even in that second goal that we gave up, he was right there and he could have closed down on the people with the ball. And he's just like, they'll be fine. Nothing's going to come of it. And we need this intensity. Like, we're at home. You just got the start. Like, I expect to see you, like, giving your all. That was what Phil Foden's thing was this motor that was always intense. And he just seems so apathetic. And it's just sad to see this from who was, and I guess technically still is until Nico O'Reilly, if he gets on this England team and Phil Foden doesn't, is the crown jewel of Manchester City.
So is this something where Pep trusted Foden too long? Because funny story here, I couldn't watch the second half of the match because every time I tried to get on Peacock on my phone, you have too many accounts logged in right now. I was so pissed. I had to change my password on Peacock because I gave it out clearly to too many family members, too many friends. So nobody else knows it in the world but me. After you made me miss the second half of a match, I was so pissed driving home, just having to follow.
So you made them miss the second half of the match so that you can watch it.
No, I couldn't get on. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I literally was driving home.
They were sitting at home watching the match,
watching
chilling.
Whatever. Could have been watching, I don't know, whatever NBC Peacock show. They might have been watching Tracy Morgan. I don't know what they were watching. But Traders. But the point was, Beverly, Real Housewives, I couldn't watch City. Nevertheless, I saw that we scored the Rodri goal at the 62nd minute. There was a full 15 minutes. He did not take Foden off until after the second goal. So as Cronk is talking about, maybe his legs are gone at 65. And again, Nico G never saw the pitch. Reinders never saw the pitch. And those are two people far larger, clearly and going to be more fit at that moment, faster, powerful, can just run when you're protecting the 2-1 lead. Like, I just think, and I almost had the same argument for Bernardo, but as you see, Bernardo is 90 minutes fit and he still did things the whole match. Like, his engine is it's amazing. But Phil clearly isn't 90 minutes fit like he used to be because he isn't playing 90 minutes consistently. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, Phil, you gave us a good 60. Let's get somebody else in there who's going to finish the job.
Give us an okay 60.
And I think okay 60, sorry. The team was good while you were out there. We were up 2-1.
Yeah.
Like, freshen up the midfield. And I think you waited so late, so now you're putting on wingers and Doku and Savinho, when in reality you should have been putting on midfielders earlier. And again, hindsight is 2020, but if that's what we're talking about, is like what could have made the difference. And you're talking about Phil not being able to run down a ball in the 76th minute. I bet Reinders could have at least got there. And maybe he takes a foul. Maybe it's a free kick. But I don't, something happens that is going to stop that play. So I don't know, something to think about. Because like we said, those two guys, for me now, as we're talking about it, I think they can be really helpful as we have matches every 3 days. They need to get starts. He can't keep starting Bernardo. He can't keep starting Phil. Like, Let some other people play, man.
Before the sorry, Tarik.
No, you're good.
Before City scored the second goal, Ake and Doku looked like they were about to come on. Like the camera pointed to the sideline, and you saw Ake taking his stuff off, coming down, and then City scored the second. And Pep notoriously doesn't like to make things weird when there's a momentum shift. He doesn't want to add to the shift. He let things continue. And then once they scored that second goal, that's when he was like, okay, now I got to force the situation. And now I got to put the pressure on Doku, on Savio, players who haven't had many minutes after in a long time. And it was very unfair on them to put them in that situation. I agree. Tarik, what were you about to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think because we have players that are, in my opinion, better in the 10 than Phil is.
Yes.
Phil is having to play a different position. He's having to be more of an 8. And while on one hand we can say, yeah, that's Phil, cool. It doesn't necessarily feel like that's Phil at the moment. Because if you're gonna be the 8, you're gonna have to give me more. And again, so there's that stat that he's running the most out of every player in the league or something like that, right? So it's not an unwillingness to run. Maybe it's a when, where, how, whatever. So again, we have to give him some benefit of the doubt as he's changing positions, right? It's not going to look like it did when he was in the 10. He's not going to get as much G&A, or potentially not get as much G&A as you would if he were a 10, right? And he was on the ball more consistently, and his responsibility was to go and create. So expect that there's going to be some amount of change. On the flip side, if you're going to be an 8, you got to give me more. And I don't know if physically he has the build to be, because you said he's 5'7". Right now he's probably $160, dripping wet, if that. So probably not even $160, to be honest with you. So yeah, I just don't know that. I wonder what will happen when Bernardo leaves. Assuming Bernardo leaves in the summer, can he take that role where Bernardo's not a big dude? He's a pest. He's a pest who runs his butt off.
This is all in every duel.
And it can Phil, can you do that? Keep Nico O'Reilly in that other position, and you just be the pest. Can you do that? Now again, if you do that, you're not going to get those G&A. And now we're judging you by a different metric. But if you can't do that, I don't know where his playing time comes from.
This is so bad to say, man, but unless something changes, both Nico's and Tijani Reinders, to me, are better in this position he's being asked to play in. Like, if he can't play right behind Haaland, right outside the 18, as like the creator on the team, like, because that's Shirky, the other people are better further away from goal. They can do more. And again, it's not saying he's not as talented up close to goal, but once you get him away from it, defensively, he's just not as big. Like, Bernardo is that special because he does so much at the same size as Phil Foden. And that's why he's 1 of 1. So it's going to be interesting to see. Again, we got a lot of games left this season. We got 4 competitions. Phil could have a breakout spring. Maybe winter's just been too cold. But we got to have something change, bro, because this ain't it. Like, he can't start against Newcastle, which we'll talk about. Like, I don't want to see him. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. Because like that was the conversation we were all having earlier in the season where, hey, we are seeing Shirky. He is the 10. Maybe Phil Foden is the next Bernardo Silva. But I am not even seeing that because I'm not seeing the energy, the intensity, the fight, the fire that we're seeing out of Bernardo. I'm not seeing any of that from Phil Foden. And, like, not even close. And you can look at the heat map of this match of Phil Foden. He is specifically in that it's real hot in that spot where he loves to be. Receive that ball, turn, step left, take a couple dribbles. And then after that, anything back behind the halfway line, there's like a light yellow where he touched. But you could even watch it. There were a couple times where he's trying to make a run and he's calling for the ball, but he's like surrounded by people and there's no passing angle. And then he's like getting frustrated. It's like, you're not in a good spot to receive the ball. What are you doing? And then he would just kind of stand around. And there were a couple of moments in particular where like Nunes, his run basically put Nunes on an island and he's just too far away and just watching Nunes get trapped and lost the ball. And I was just like, bro, what are we doing? You track back, help, support. Like, what are we doing? It was just very frustrating for someone who has been under Pep almost his entire career. And he just seems to be someone who doesn't understand Pep ball. It's very weird. It's very weird. And again, I know he has to make this adjustment to the new style of football where the Premier League is now, but I am worried. I am officially worried.
I just think it's crazy that Ryan Shirky just got to the Premier League and is second in the league in assists in his first season. And he hasn't even started more than 22 games. Like, it's actually crazy. So I think Phil's struggles almost just make me appreciate Shirky's greatness to just come to the league. But I have a question for y'all. Which non-penalty shot was your favorite?
Okay.
There were 3 that I saw. Like, I would say 2 in a possible, like spades. There were 2 really good ones. One on Rodri, one on Haaland. Which one of those 2 is your favorite? Because the PGMOL will have to atone for their sins. At some point.
So the Rodri one reminded me of was it Phil versus Newcastle?
It happened to Phil, and we got a penalty for it, didn't we?
Oh, did we? I thought we didn't get it.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't get it. We didn't get it.
The same thing
happened.
So,
okay. Same thing happened. So that's why I was like, okay, this has happened before. The Haaland one, I already know. They were like, he dragged his leg. He was already falling. And even if he didn't, he dribbled it past. It was basically going to be out of bounds. He wouldn't have been able to get it to it. They make all of these excuses that does not acknowledge.
But we literally just like 2-3 weeks ago saw it given when the ball was lost because it didn't matter. It was still a foul in the box. So again,
I'm with you.
What people complain about is the inconsistency. Either it is or it's not.
Right.
And again, I understand that, well, the ref didn't call it and you're trying to avoid re-reffing the game or whatever. But if the wrong call is made, I guess my issue is it's like clear and obvious when we don't want to give it. We can use the excuse, well, it's not clear and obvious. But you don't, there's plenty of times that you blow for VAR will come down and blow for a review and they'll give a penalty that wasn't, was no different. So it's frustrating to see that inconsistency and to feel like they're kind of making it up as they go in each individual moment. Is like as if they're separate, and that's not the case. Go ahead, Charlie.
I had an epiphany, y'all. You know the issue with the way they do it in footy compared to America is that in America the VAR isn't at the stadium. Like when you watch an NBA game, they always talk about we got to go back to Secaucus, right? Like we got to go to the headquarters. These are the people making the call. There's just no emotion. I'm just telling you it is what it is. Same for college basketball. Same for the NFL. It's not about the people in no, they're just people who only do this. You aren't rotating from I'm an on-field referee to now I'm managing technology and I'm a VAR. Like the system actually is stupid because there's 2 different skill sets. One is on the pitch in motion. Can you make decisions? Can you adjudicate a game? The other is, can I use technology to get it right? And clearly, in England, they are the worst of all the big leagues in getting it right. It is so ridiculous. And if you're going to say, like you said, Tarik, we see it one week, that call should be the same call all season because it's called a precedent. You said it. And we've watched it. So I feel like I'm being gaslit when I watch these matches. Like, wait, I've seen that given before. Like, I know it can be a penalty. I saw the keeper hit him. I don't care what happens. He touched the man in the box. Give me the penalty. Like, it's almost like they don't want to encourage diving, But hey, if somebody dives, give them a yellow. There's a way to fix it.
That's
You
how
can balance it out.
Because Mateus Cunha had to go. He dove.
He dove
basically,
and earned a penalty.
Got a penalty. Yeah.
The Newcastle game today. That's how he got the red. Was a simulation. So it's like,
I didn't know that.
I don't even see simulation. And then I saw him get sent off for simulation. I was like, the fuck? When was the last time we've given a yellow, let alone a yellow to send someone off? It's crazy. It's so wild. Like Raya last week when he dove after like getting tackled, like fell backwards and then dove. Like that is the best case for simulation I have seen in such a long time. And it's just very frustrating because you have to do this. And then actually this leads perfectly to Pep, because the goals are what they are, what happened. We've talked about this match plenty. We have a couple more games to look at. But Pep was asked about the Sells tackle on Haaland.
Listen, about that subject I spoke weeks ago. So always I believe that you have to do it much better to don't make intervene the officials, otherwise we don't have anything to do. It's our responsibility to do it better. You have to rely on them. What happened that season is impossible. So nothing more to say. I said in the past.
We can't rely on them. Like to rely on them, we're fucked. And it's like and almost I think it's hilarious because everyone keeps asking what's going on with this Rodri situation. I think they were pissed off at Rodri for saying the obvious out loud, but they keep proving to everyone that shenanigans is afoot. It's way too obvious, and it's not even just in City games. It's in all of the games. They're just like very weird calls that just aren't happening for no reason. It's just like what is going on? Like, why are these calls not being called? It just like it is obvious. And then I go back to what is it? It's the new like head of the Premier League where he had that quote where we want to have it set up where there's a different champion, Premier League champion every year. Like, it just feels sketchy. It just feels sketchy. It's awful. It's awful.
I try not to go there, Crunk, and it's hard not to, right? Because if you're a City fan as we are, and you've watched all the matches as we have, there's at least 10 things that happened this season where we're just like, wait, what are they doing? Either it's a yellow against us, it's a penalty that's not given, it's a goal that is disallowed, or like the offsides call is so bad when there's no VAR for the one match with Marmouch. Like, we have and again, I'm not saying we're the only team, but this is the team we support. And so it's just like, bro, like, you hope that something gets done better, because this has me genuinely looking forward to Champions League more than Premier League matches. Like, I'm excited to go look at the match at the Bernabeu next week versus have to think about, the FA Cup on Saturday. And that's just where I am right now.
That's real. That is real. Speaking of, we have Newcastle United on the weekend. Newcastle United, they're down bad. They somehow managed to beat Manchester United down a player. So good on them. But they've been inconsistent. They have been struggling. It is this situation where they need this competition. They sit 12th in the Premier League. This is basically all they have to go. But if you look at their fixtures,
Crunk, they're going to be Barcelona. What are you talking about, bro? Like, they're going to go shock the world in Champions League. Have you forgotten?
I would love that for them to get
I'm joking. Well, they're not going to be Barcelona. It's okay.
But, so, like, they have us in the FA Cup, and then they have Barcelona in the Champions League, and then they have Chelsea in the Premier League. So Eddie Howe is going to have to make some decisions in these games. Who does he play? Who does he give time to? And, like, even in this match, I actually wasn't aware that Tonali came off injured. So that's actually awful for them because he is their creator in the midfield. But also, like, Voltemade didn't play because he was sick, but you would assume he will be back. So it's like Livramento should be returning back soon, but he won't be available for this match. So if Tonali's not available, this is the Carabao, so it's an FA match, so Ramsey won't be available in this match, I think. So it'll be interesting. So if they don't have Tonali and Ramsey's out, that means they're going to have to replace both of those players in the midfield. That it's going to be a very interesting situation. Yeah. How are we feeling about this? What do we got for a score prediction?
2-1 City win. That's all I got at this point. We win the game. And this gets us to the final or semifinal. What round is this?
It's
it's round 5. So this gets us to the quarters. Sorry, this is the round of 16. So yeah, this gets us to the quarterfinals, and we keep on pushing.
Yeah, I think we win. Which again, I don't think it'll be easy. No team we're going to play this late in the season is going to be easy, especially when you've already played them 4 times already. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know that this will be an easy game, but I do think we win it. It might be, like I think you said 2-1. It's probably about right. Yeah. It's a 1 goal. It's probably a 1 goal difference. Quite honestly, we've not been free flowing offensively, so I don't expect a whole bunch of goals from us. So yeah, I'll go 2-1 just because 1-0 doesn't feel realistic at the moment.
No. Okay. So there are.
I wouldn't even be surprised because did we go straight to penalties?
Yeah, I think so.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they just try to get to penalties.
Oh, I mean, obviously that is what lower league teams do. But yeah, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Newcastle tries to do that too. So there are 3, 4.
There is 120, by the way.
Oh, it is 120? Okay, cool.
It's 4 extra time. This round, yeah. This in round 5, that's when it goes.
Now that we're in the knockouts. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So Leeds takes on Norwich. Sunderland takes on Port Vale. Fulham take on Southampton. Chelsea take on Wrexham, and Arsenal play Mansfield Town. Which of these Premier League teams do you think is the most susceptible to an upset? Obviously,
my first thought was Chelsea Wrexham.
Because it's at Wrexham. It is at Wrexham too.
And Wrexham has been balling. Like, they're top 6 in the championship in their first year. Like, they're a real ass team. This is not just some Hulu Disney money. Like, they can go.
I'm the stats
and they can play. So yeah, I think that's the best bet because those other ones just don't sound realistic to me.
No.
Like, I don't think, oh man, like Mansfield's about to beat
whatever their
name is about to beat Arsenal.
They're about to get smashed.
Like, come on, man.
And even
they have Arsenal.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah.
And even Norwich, they're 17th in the championship, so they're like a bottom championship team. Like, because that's the only other team that I was like, oh, maybe they could probably get something on Leeds, but Leeds is doing pretty decent. They're also home. Yeah, I feel like that.
The most fun is Liverpool having to go back to Wolves. I know it's PLPL, but it's like still. Relegation Wolves. Are you going to get them back to back? Like,
that would be hilarious.
Think about how bad they might fire Slot on the spot, bro. If he loses the Wolves 2 times in a week, oh my god,
that would be hilarious.
They got to. They have to.
That would be wild.
Yeah, that's what I'm really rooting for out of everything. Just let Liverpool lose again. Let it go to extra time. Can you imagine how nervous they're going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it goes to extra time, 0-0 or 1-1, you're like, oh my god, we can't go to penalties against Wolves. We can't. That's the joy I need.
You think Fulham, Southampton?
Possibly. Yeah, I don't see why not. Southampton is. What are they in the table?
I think the Wrexham Chelsea shout is probably the best one.
Yeah,
although Chelsea did hang 4 or 5 on Villa today.
Villa 4-1, yeah. Whew, that was bad. Yeah. So again, I'm hoping for Wrexham to win. I want to see the story continue. And then I want to play them.
Right.
If we can be so lucky.
Right. Well, and honestly, they would love that because again, that's great for television and finances.
Yeah, I would take it.
Okay. Champions League we have coming up. We travel to the Bernabeu back-to-back. Actually, it's back-to-back road games for City.
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid first leg, Champions League. So they have out Militao's out. Camavinga, there are a couple people who are injured and possibly going to miss out. Carreras, Alaba, Camavinga, but Bellingham is out until April. Mbappe has this like knee injury, so he may or may not be available. Rodrigo Torres ACL, he is out. And then Ceballos and Militao, they are for sure out. Then there's a situation that even if Carreras does play, he is one of 4 players. Well, Bellingham is also another person, but he's out. But Vinny Jr., Tchouaméni, Bellingham, and Carreras, they're all on the yellow card brink, where if they get another yellow, they would be out for the second leg. So if Vinny Jr. and Tchouaméni are the only 2 that are going to be available in that match, if they pick up another yellow, they will not be available. It looks like Vinny Jr. is going to be the main one up top. Like who will it be? It'll be like Vinny, Arda Güler, and
Garcia.
Oh yeah,
Gonzalo Garcia.
That doesn't scare me at all. How are we feeling?
This last match, he played Valverde at right wing, Garcia through the middle, Vinny on the left. They started the kid Thiago Pitarch against Getafe, and I watched a lot of that match, bro. They have no offensive system. It is literally like roll the ball out and see what can happen, which plays into our hands. Like, they're going to be running for their lives just on defense. This is the one where you could kill them by 1,000 passes. It's kind of like we did when we went there the first time, early in Champions League phase, right? Which is the reason that they won the playoff and we weren't. We're so much better than them. I know we had a tough result against Forest, a draw, but think about our recent form. Like 7 wins in a row. We haven't lost in God knows how long. Like, we can go get a 2-0. I don't think we blow them out, of course. I respect it, but we can go win 2-1 again. I have no doubt.
And it again, we know Pep's MO in Champions League, especially if the first match is on the road. It is just simply don't lose. We'll take a draw.
Play tight.
Yeah. So like a 2-1 is best case scenario, but I would even take a 1-1. But with all of the players out, with the players who are possibly there of key figures that can get missing in the second leg with the yellow, they're going to have to play apprehensive. I could easily see a 2, even 3-1 win because of the loss to Getafe. The pressure's just going to be on everybody.
And also, we get to have Semenyo and Gehi for the first time in Champions League. Both of their first ever Champions League fixtures.
Doku hopefully will be back. Like, we saw a little bit of him, and you could see that he hasn't played football in a little bit. He was even questioning his own movements. So I'm hoping to see him in this Newcastle match. Also, let him get a few more minutes and then just destroy Real Madrid in this match.
Do you want full rotation because Champions League means more than FA Cup, or are you expecting Pep to kind of balance it out because a trophy is a trophy? Because there's an argument where he could start everybody on the bench, and I'm fine with it, like in the front 6.
I still think that we would.
What do y'all want?
Newcastle, honestly. So like,
for sure, I do too. But I'm saying, do you want it, or do you want there to be kind of like just a normal, like 1 or 2 people out?
Yeah, no, I'm okay with some rotation.
For me, it's some rotation, of course, but not a full.
Not like we did for Leverkusen, not the Leverkusen.
No. He won't do that again.
Don't do the Leverkusen.
Yeah, he won't do that again.
Cool. But I want to see Rodri rested. I don't want to see Rodri play 4 matches in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with that.
I think he's the one that has to get out. Let Nico G play. And then maybe you keep Bernardo on and you keep Phil on and you take out Holland for Marmouch. Like, I just think, like you said, play a little bit, get, some partnerships going, and then use the subs. Like, hey, bring somebody else back in who didn't start. But we should be able to beat Newcastle in 90 minutes. Like, it took a wonder goal from Osasuna for them to win today. Even after they were down a man. Like, we should win both of these matches, man. If we don't win both these, I'll be pissed. Like, that would be me crashing out next Wednesday.
What are your thoughts on this match, Tarik?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Real Madrid, right? So you never know what you're going to, even when they even when they have players missing, they seem to still show up.
Yeah.
So the fact that they've got all these players out and all that kind of stuff, it's still Real Madrid. They still have some hocus pocus type stuff going on in the Champions League. So I think we beat them. I'm gonna say 2. Nope. I'm gonna say 3-1. I want to say 2-0 is what I really want to say.
Man's literally said Real Madrid is
I know what I said.
the hoodoo. You never know what to do.
Yeah,
but we still gonna smash them by 2.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what I'm talking about, Tarik.
Because my heart and my head are saying different things.
I love it.
Let's go, baby.
My head says that this is Real Madrid, but I don't think they're great.
They're
my
not.
heart is like, we can beat them. We can do this. We can do that. And you move by emotion. And so I'm moving by emotion a little bit right now. And I think, I want to say 2-0, but again, do I think we'll keep a clean sheet? I don't know. So I'm gonna go 3-1.
I love it.
No, I'm gonna say 2-1 because I don't think we score more than. We're not gonna score more than 2.
Final answer 2-1.
Final
Yeah,
answer 2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not scoring more than 2.
Okay.
Our offense is not that great right now. We're not putting the ball in the back of the net.
You know what? I'm gonna raise you. I'm gonna go 3-1 because their defense sucks. Because they suck. They don't have no system defensively, offensively. It's 11 people that have to have on the same uniform.
Have you accounted for Rudiger WWE suplexing Holland and getting away with it?
Yeah, and I've also accounted
because we
for
know
the
that's
fact
going to
that
happen.
Oh yeah,
I've accounted for the fact that if they play Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
Their left back is not good. Like they just don't have the guys. Like you said, somebody's already in yellow, so that might make them timid or make them stupid. Both things could happen. Yeah, man, we're gonna find a way to get 3. I don't know how many they gonna score. 0, 1, or 2, but we're gonna win with 3 goals. Watch. Okay. 3 goals. Let's go.
And I'm looking forward to this because got the homie. We have 2 different match previews, obviously. So we have John Tolbert. He's going to join me for the first leg, and then Donald Wine is going to join me for the second leg. Well, it'll be very fun to have those chats with him. Okay. This was nice. We have one more week without our baby blue baddies, and then they're back with us. Like they're already gonna be back with us. So it felt like it was.
So far, everybody's healthy. To stay healthy,
yeah,
y'all.
And everyone's balling out. They're doing great
all around the world.
Yep. All right, Show Bros. Tarik, let's start with you. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
You can find me every Tuesday night on YouTube doing a show called Talk Back Tuesday. You can just find my channel by searching my name, Tarik Peterson. It'll bring you to my channel. And we go live every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's 11:30 p.m. UK time. And so we talk pretty much anything and everything City. Quite honestly, anything and everything footy, to be honest with you. But you can find me there, and then the rest of the time you can find me on social media. Just same. Just look for my name, Tarik Peterson, TARIKPETERSON.
And you can find me, the one and only Sharpie Charlie, on every platform by that same name. And look forward to watching some footy with the homie Crunk every weekend, be it men or women. And this weekend we got Saturday late kickoff, Saturday night in the UK, Saturday afternoon in the States.
Too. It's crazy.
I was like, yo, you kind of messing up my swag. I had to rearrange a date for this. Like, come on.
Oh, damn.
But it's all good. We figured out, luckily UNC Duke doesn't tip until 6:30. So I got time to meet up, have a good time, watch the game. It's a nice test run to see, hey, can you handle me at my worst?
That's real.
Get out. It's a second date, so we're gonna see what pops.
Second date. Okay, that's fun. At Shades of Blue in W, check us out, follow us. Shades of Blue, Olive and York kit. It's in the talks to celebrate our 4th year anniversary. It's coming, baby. Shades of Blue kit. We're doing a very limited batch. because I didn't want to like order a bunch and then my ego get crushed. Like I'm just like I'm feeling very vulnerable at this moment. I can't handle that. So we're doing a very limited batch. Should be able to sell out of the amount that we're doing. So when they come out, make sure to order it, because if you wait too long, you could miss out. So more info coming soon. Can't wait to show everybody them. We'll see you soon. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.